everybody. So right now I'm showing you my Flesh Tearers army, painted by Worthy Painting. This is the list that I normally take with me. There's Mephiston and his personal sanguinary guard, or sanguinary priest guard. And some Death Company, and of course you have to have a Storm Raven. And my Predators. I love this army. Mostly a 40k player. Been in this hobby for about 7 years, let's say. We'll say that anyway. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Probably pretty close, but yeah, I fell in love with it and really haven't looked back. Took a brief hiatus for a few months, but for someone my age, I think in this community, I think I haven't actually been in it very long. I mean, most people my age have been in it, you know, since their early formative years, their whole lives. I have no such tale. My history is pretty brief, but I love it nonetheless. And in that short time, I've actually had quite a few armies. My first army was Imperial Guard, before they got their codex way back when. Well, way back when for me. Their latest codex. Then shortly after that I had Dark Angels, Deathwing, Terminator Wing, before they were good. Then I switched over to Salamanders. I stuck with them for a long time. I loved my Salamanders, but oh, he's kind of fell over. Stuck with my Salamanders for a long time, but I had to move on eventually. I ran them in a drop pod list where they would just come down and burn things, and it got to a point where I would either win in turn 1 or lose in turn 1. So ultimately I moved on, and after my Salamanders I actually commissioned a army through Blue Table called the Ebon Crows, and they were actually the I'd say the ancestor to this army that you're looking at now. And I loved them, but their wings were really top heavy, so I couldn't really have them in tournaments. It would take too long, and people were getting mad at me for taking too long of turns. So I ended up actually moving them to this current army, but in between that time I actually had a Tau army for a while before their new codex, and I had a and I had a vanilla Space Marine army as well. Then I had Worthy Painting turn my Ebon Crows into the Flesh Tearers, and this is the army you see before you now, and I love them. Pretty much the same army as my Ebon Crows, just without wings and with Flesh Tearer iconography. Blech. Yeah. However, this video is not about the Flesh Tearers. See, my whole 40k life, my whole 7 years of it, I've never actually painted anything. I like to assemble a lot, but painting was always way too daunting of an enterprise for me to get involved with. So I always either didn't paint at all. A lot of my armies were gray from start to finish, and the other ones I just had commissioned. And of course I've had a wonderful experience commissioning. Look at that sword. Beautiful. Gorgeous. I've had a wonderful time commissioning, and I've got to know a lot of really cool people. I have a really great relationship with Blue Table Painting, Worthy Painting, and other individuals in the community that I've actually had people paint things for me. Just little one-off things here and there. But I felt it was time to at least give it a shot. So, that brings me to the next part of the video, and that is to show you what this whole thing is actually all about. Bam. That's right. This is about vampire counts. So, even though I've only been into 40k for about 7 years, I actually found out about Warhammer. And the first time I actually found out about Warhammer was Warhammer Fantasy. And that was actually when I was a little kid. But I never got into it for money reasons or, I don't know, laziness. But I never got into it. And my first foray, of course, was 40k. And then just recently, I've decided to finally make the dive. However, because it's important, it's been so long coming, I didn't want to just hand it off to have it done. I wanted my sweat and blood on this project. So that's what this is about. I have never painted a single model in my life. I've assembled a lot, so I kind of know what I'm doing there. But I've never paint stripped. I've never done any of that. So this project, this month, I feel like is going to give me a good excuse to really just take my first steps into it. I think it'll be fun. And it'll be stressful, but I think I'm up for the task. So, without further ado, let me show you what I have going on. So, this is my Vampire Counts army. Yeah, notably less sexy than the Flesh Tears. There's a theme there, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Flesh Tears, Vampire Counts. Kind of got a thing for vampires. I don't know, I love them. But everything here is broken down into baggies. Now the things in baggies, you can't really see them, but I have it labeled here. So these are hand weapon skeletons without shields. This is a bag of zombies, just a big old cluster of zombies in there. And these are spear skeletons. And just random weapons over here. And then, ooh, we'll get to that in a second. That's that's just a delicious soup of stuff right now. This here is the ink rubbed off, but this is skeletons with shields, hand weapon shields. Or I'm sorry, this is hand weapon spears. Now I'm actually new to the game, so I don't know what the best loadout is for these. Hopefully that'll be something that is actually addressed during my videos this month. This whole project of mine. And then let's get to the awesome things. Everything in these buckets is just in random states of being torn apart, not complete. Let's actually crack one of these guys open. What are these? Okay, so yeah, these guys. Oops, sorry about that. I'm getting out of the fight here. These guys. Yeah, juicy. These are skeleton, spear skeletons, who are actually being soaked right now in what do I use? What's the stuff that I use? It's not purple power. I actually just got some of that stuff to try with some other things, but I've been using, hold on a second, I can't remember what I use. Here we go. This is what I use. Super clean. And get this at Fred Meyer, which is actually kind of funny because I think there's a rumor online right now about how this stuff went out of business, but either another company bought it out or something, but it's definitely still around, and it's good stuff. I've actually got a story to tell about this stuff, but we'll get to that in a second. Alright, sorry about that. Here we go. So these guys are sitting in super clean. And this, I think, actually is just an empty tub. I don't know why I have this. What is this? I don't know. Let's get rid of it. These guys. Let's see what these guys are. Oh, delicious. Oh my, it reeks. It smells like bleach or something. These guys are, these are my zombies. So these guys, let me tell you, I'm having a heck of a time doing these guys. So they were primed in black, and I don't know if that's like harder to strip or not. But this super clean stuff is not doing the trick for these zombies. These guys, by the way, have been sitting in here for about 3 months. And you can tell I've been working on them already, just scrubbing away, and I still, after like 4 different times being put back into the juice, they're not coming as clean as I want. So the thing is, these skeletons, let's get to the big daddy-o here. There's another tub back here. I don't know what that is, but oh my god, look at that, gross. I'm not even gonna look in there. Let's see, these guys. Cauldron O skeletons. They've all come apart. They're just random floating bits. Oh my god, it's a disaster. Look at that. Oh man. Hand whip and shield skeletons. These guys are the ones that I have most of, I think. I haven't actually done a count yet, but I have something around the neighborhood of like 110 zombies or so. 120 skeletons. 8 ghouls, which are here. Actually have not started them yet. They're actually still sitting out. I only have 8 of them. That's all I could get. So right now I don't know what I'm going to do with those guys yet. I'm not even sure they're going to be part of the project. But there they are. 8 ghouls. And then the one shining gem of the army is these guys. These guys are the Blood Knights from Jawa Ball's Kickstarter, DVD Kickstarter. One of the levels was to get a DVD and these gorgeous, let me see if I can get closer without blocking the light, gorgeous Blood Knights. Look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. Come on, focus. There you go. Look at that.